So you're a scuba instructor, and you've got a student with ADHD in your class. You've probably felt that pull, right? You want to give them the absolute best training, but you've also got these serious nagging safety concerns. Well, you're definitely not alone. That's what we're going to tackle today, turning those very valid concerns into confident, safe, and really effective instruction. Okay, let's dive in.
Look, the stakes in what we do are just incredibly high. This statement from the source material, it just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? When you're responsible for someone's life underwater, being aware isn't just a nice professional skill. It's everything. It's the foundation of safety for you, for them, for everyone. And let's be really clear here, those concerns that instructors have, they are 100% valid. Dr. Martin Quigley, who's an expert in diving medicine, he nails it right here. Scuba diving is it's a task-loaded environment. Forgetting to check your air or your depth isn't like forgetting your keys. It can have absolutely catastrophic consequences for the diver, their buddy, and anyone who might have to attend a rescue. So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's the one we're here to answer. You know, the goal isn't to put up walls or create barriers to diving. It's about building bridges with knowledge. It's about giving you, the instructor, the framework and the tools you need to manage the risks and ultimately create a successful, safe diver. A successful and, more importantly, a safe dive for a student with ADHD, well, it starts long before anyone even dips a toe in the water. This whole pre-dive prep phase is absolutely non-negotiable. It really sets the foundation for everything, and I mean everything that comes after. So we can break this whole preparation process down into 4 really clear, actionable steps. First up, we've got to assess medical fitness. Then, second, we need to review any medication issues. Third, we customize the actual training program. And finally, number 4, we set realistic goals with the student. Let's dig into each of these. Okay, first things first. This is not a call you should be making on your own, period. Working with the student's doctor is absolutely essential. They can give you the real scoop on the individual's specific condition and any potential issues. Getting that proper medical clearance, it's not just about covering your bases. It's about making a genuinely informed decision that keeps everyone safe. All right, let's talk about medication, because this is a big one. The truth is, there's very little research on how common ADHD meds, whether they're stimulants or non-stimulants, actually behave under pressure. The risks are just unpredictable. We're talking about things like an increased chance of nitrogen narcosis, that martini effect at depth, or even seizures. A review of diving fatalities actually found that the deceased divers were taking significantly more of these types of medications. So the bottom line is this conversation must include a diving medicine specialist. So once all the medical stuff is sorted out, then we can start tailoring the training. And a great way to do this is by setting both short-term and long-term goals. Think of short-term goals as your quick wins. They break down really complex skills into bite-sized pieces, they give immediate direction, and they're huge for building confidence. The long-term goals, well, they provide the bigger picture, the why we're doing all this, which is key for keeping that motivation high all the way to certification. Okay, let's get wet. Now we're moving into the in-water phase. We've laid all that important groundwork, so now we can focus on some really practical, adaptive teaching strategies for both the pool sessions and the open water dives. I mean, this is the real challenge once you hit the water, isn't it? The underwater world can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. So how do we actually manage those key traits of ADHD, the inattention, the impulsivity, that potential for sensory overload, in a way that helps learning and keeps safety number 1? Here's your toolkit, a bunch of strategies that are proven to work. You want to keep your instructions super clear, simple, and step-by-step. Think about breaking lessons into shorter, more focused chunks to keep that attention sharp. Repetition and hands-on practice are your best friends for building muscle memory. In the pool, do what you can to minimize all those external distractions. And hey, never ever underestimate the power of a good visual aid, like a dive slate with a simple drawing or a checklist. Now this is where it gets really cool, seeing how we can adapt the skills we already teach. This slide just shows it perfectly. So instead of teaching mass clearing as this one big, scary skill, break it down, make it 3 smaller steps, and praise your student after they nail each one. For the pre-dive check, don't just rely on memory. No way. Use a laminated visual checklist every single time. You're building a rock-solid, reliable routine. And, through this entire process, your attitude as the instructor is it's paramount. Positive reinforcement isn't just about being a nice person, it's a seriously powerful teaching tool. Giving that constructive, specific feedback and some genuine praise, man, that builds the confidence a student needs to push through challenges and really develop that lifelong passion for diving we all want to see. And that brings us to the most serious part of our job, right? The final assessment. Because at the end of the day, you are the gatekeeper of safety. It's your name on that card, and you have the ultimate responsibility to make the final call on certification. So let's circle all the way back to Dr. Quigley's point. That certification decision has to be based on demonstrated competence and safety. It just has to. If a student is consistently having trouble paying attention, making careless mistakes, or just isn't following instructions, all potential challenges with ADHD, you have to think about the risk. Not just to them, but to their future dive buddy. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing decision, and this is where we can get a bit creative. The Handicapped Scuba Association has a fantastic model with their multi-level certification system. So a level B or C diver, for example, is certified but with specific rules, like always diving with 2 buddies. This ensures there's always a solid support system in the water. It's a great pathway to certification that keeps safety standards right where they need to be. So, before you even think about signing that C card, here's your final gut checklist. Can the student solve basic emergencies on their own? Are they consistently, and I mean consistently, monitoring their own air and depth? Can they do their skills without you having to constantly prompt them? And this is the big one. Can they be a reliable, attentive buddy to someone else? The answer to all of these questions has to be a confident yes for a standard unrestricted certification. By taking these concerns and turning them into a structured, adaptive plan, you really can create a learning environment that is both safer and more inclusive. The knowledge is out there. The strategies are there. The real question is, are you ready to apply them?